If you're trying to get more organized in your life and just don't know how or where to start, this is the episode for you. So stay tuned until after the music. You're about to listen to a great episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast. Within this episode, my hope is that you obtain something that will help you find your success. So grab a pen, get your paper, your favorite snack or drink, and really listen to what I have to say. I truly believe it can be what you need to get you to your next level in life. So grab a seat and enjoy the ride, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to not just another episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast, but another season of the Lazenby Experience podcast. We are here on season 3, episode number 1. I'm super excited, not just about this episode, but about this season, because this season is going to be one for the books. Because not only will I be continually giving out information in topics and covering topics that will hopefully help you along your journey to success, I will also be having guests to do the same thing based off their own experiences and based off their own expertise. I'm super messing up my words. I'm super excited about these guests because I specifically sought out these people because I felt they had some knowledge, they had some experience that can help you along your journey. So I'm super excited for this season to get started, and I'm super excited for this information and for this content to be given out this season. Not only will I be having guests, I will also be having a longer season than I did in the past. The last 2 seasons were like 9 or 10 episodes each. This season will be a lot longer because I want to continue giving out as much information as I can, not just in short form. So I'm super excited about this season, and I really want to get this season started off really good. So let's get started with this first episode of season 3. And if you couldn't tell by the title of this episode, we are going to be going into getting and staying organized. Now, for me, being organized is one of those foundational skills I think everyone should have to help them along their success. I feel like having a more organized space or mind will help you get to where you want to be. So as I did last season, let's start this episode off with a little bit of a story time. So for me, I always been a very organized person. Sometimes, it's something I enjoy doing. I think I'm pretty good at it, and I think it's part of my purpose in life, really. In high school and probably even in middle school, I used to lay out and iron my clothes the day before, and whenever I took a shower, like I would like literally lay out everything I need, like my lotion, my deodorant, the Vaseline, and all that kind of stuff. I would literally line it up specifically in the order I'm going to use it when I get out the shower. And you can, if you want, go to my family, my siblings, and my parents and ask them. They know exactly how that was living together. Now that I'm living in my own apartment, even though it kind of slipped up because of COVID and all that jazz, my apartment is pretty well organized. Like I pretty much know where everything is. My clothes are hung up and color coded. Everything that is folded in a precise way. Everything has a drawer or a place. Even the apps on my phone and notes on my phone are organized and pretty much categorized. Folders, notebooks, and binders I use for school are all color coded and labeled as well. So I try to keep everything in a space or in a place so I can easily find it when I need it and not have to think about it. The way I feel about organized or being organized is the same way some people might feel about having to finish their book or finish a good book or a TV show before they go to bed. If I feel like something is not organized before I go to bed, or while I'm laying down, I'm just thinking about like something is not where it needs to be, I won't be able to go to sleep. So I'm gonna have to get up. Most of the time it's not something like huge where I need to clean up my whole kitchen or something, but I need to get that organized before I can rest well. So for me, that is very important to be as organized as possible. And I'm hoping within this episode I can help you get a little bit more organized within your life and not have to stay up all night doing it. So let's get started with the main topic for today. So first, I want to talk about why being organized is something valuable to really do. To me, an organized person, or organized space rather, is an organized mind. It makes it easier to find things, which helps save time when looking for them, especially things you might not use on a regular basis. So especially if you looking for your social security card, your birth certificate, or even those shoes that you don't wear every day. Being able to know where they are even if you don't use them is great to be able to do. It also helps create more available space. So you might have a whole bunch of junk somewhere, and most of the stuff in that drawer don't even use. So being able to remove that stuff would definitely make things a little bit easier for you in your life. And then it also helps you find and get rid of things you no longer need or want. Some important things you know or you need to know before you get started with the process of getting organized is it can be very consuming and tedious at times. The process is largely involved of getting rid of things, grouping things together, and then moving things. So be prepared as I give out these 5 steps of getting yourself organized, that most of those steps will involve some form of getting rid of things, grouping things together, or moving things from one area to another area. So let's get started with those 5 steps I believe can help you get more organized. So let's start with step number 1. First step is finding what you want or need to be organized. So looking around your life, seeing what could be more organized. It could be your bedroom, it can be your kitchen, it can be your office or your desk, even your phone or closet. Those things having those things organized can make your life that much easier. And then understand organizing is not just about being clean, but being efficient. Knowing where things are and being able to get to them with ease is I don't even know how to explain it, but it's great to be able to have that. And then don't try to do everything at once. You can get very overwhelmed and most likely quit before you even get started. So as I go through these steps, you're going to see how I take things step by step and piece by piece, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. If you're having trouble picking one area to start because you have so many different areas that you want to work on, make a list of every area you want to work on. Then pick the one that you think will be or would have the most increase in your daily productivity. So, for example, if you have your home office and you work from home, maybe you want to start with your desk, so you can find things faster and more easier. Or maybe if you cook a lot because you like to cook, or that's just what you do, maybe you start with your kitchen to help you know exactly where everything is when you need it. So that's step 1, making sure you find what you want and need to be organized. Maybe some areas you already have organized. Maybe some areas are not as important to be organized, at least right now. So definitely find that list of things you want to get organized and start with the most important thing that will help make your life that a little bit more easier. So moving on to step 2, now you want to start going through that area, or going through everything within that area, preferably one section at a time. So for me, I would like to split things up into different sections. So depending on how big that area is, you can decide how many sections you have. So if you're working on a closet and it's not a walk-in closet, it's just a coat closet, maybe you have just 2 sections. Or if you have your living area, maybe you have 3 or 4 sections. So it really depends on how big that area is. For me, make it less overwhelming and stressful to take that area and working on it and splitting it up into smaller sections. So after you have those sections, you can go through one section at a time and literally go through all the items within that section. So a lot of people think cleaning is just cleaning that surface area or just organizing that surface area. You want to get through everything, things that you might have never seen in years. You want to make sure you get through and see if you need it or not. So make sure you have a garbage bag for everything that needs to be thrown away, things that you haven't seen in years or used in years. With the things that you want to keep, start putting them into separate piles or areas that go together. So if you're cleaning the kitchen and you have, I don't know, knives in just different areas of the kitchen, you want to make sure you get all your knives and put them together in different piles. So and most likely you want to make those piles outside of the area that you're working on, because you're going to have to clean those areas as well, which is the next step. Before I get there, let's continue on the different sections. So with the things that you keep, I think I just said this, with the things you keep, start putting them in separate piles or areas that go together. This is the beginning stages of getting that area organized. So make sure everything that you want together, whether it's in a drawer or a cabinet or hung up in the closet together, make sure you put those things together. Do this for every section of the area you're working on. So like I said, if you have 1 section or 2 sections or 4 sections, you go through each of those sections one at a time, and you literally go through everything within that section and you see, do I need it? Do I want it? If I don't, throw it away. If I do want it, where is a group of items that look or feel or is like this item, so they can be together. So like I said, when you do this for every section of the area you're working in. This is probably going to be the most time consuming part of getting organized, but it could save a lot of time at the end, because you already will have everything organized together that should be grouped together, and all you will have to do after you clean and sanitize the area is to put those items together in whatever form you want to put them in. But remember, as the number of items you keep increase, so will the number of separate piles. So don't be afraid to use other areas outside of the space you're working on to keep them separated. So like I was saying earlier, if you're cleaning, like in my apartment, my living area or living room is right next to my kitchen. So if I was cleaning my kitchen or organizing my kitchen, I can use my living room as a place I can keep these separate piles of things together. And vice versa, if I was cleaning my living area, I can use my kitchen and that kind of thing. In some cases, it might be good to have all the separate piles in other spaces to make step 3 a little easier. Like I said, with me, my living room is very close to my kitchen, so I would definitely use that space to keep everything out, because step 3, after the space you're working on or the area you're working on is empty, that is where you will start the cleaning and sanitizing. So with the cleaning and sanitizing, you can do this in one of 2 ways. You can either clean each section as you go. So as you're clearing out one section, you're also cleaning it, or you can leave all the cleaning to the end. So you just, when you're first starting, you're just taking everything from one place and putting to another place, and you're grouping it together in different areas, but you're doing it outside of the area you're working on. Each way can be useful for different situations, so just figure out which one you think is best for you. If you like to clean as you go, then that will be the way you do it. Or if you like to do everything one part at a time, so if you like to be that way, you can definitely do it that way as well. So no, I don't think any other way, any way is better than the other. So you can definitely do what works for you. So this is where you do the deep cleaning. You're not just like I said earlier, you're not just doing surface cleaning. You want to do the deep cleaning. So you should be cleaning everything that you see don't see really. So you should be cleaning the walls, you should be cleaning the floors, in between things, underneath things, on top of things, places you never seen or cleaned before. This is where you will use, of course, your mop, you will sweep, your vacuum, dust, wipe down all surfaces, because you want to make sure everything is clean before you start putting up your things back into that area. So depending on the area you're working on, this could be another time-consuming thing. But even throughout all 5 steps, you can put on some music or listen to your favorite podcast or your favorite TV show or whatever, and that can really help things go by faster or make things a little bit more enjoyable for those who don't like to organize or clean. Another quick story. I remember when I was younger and I used to hate to clean. Like, I used to cry. Like, if I spent the time that I cried cleaning, I would have been done in less than half the time. Because as a kid, I think one of the jobs I was tasked to do or chore to do was the bathrooms. And I was just like, I know it's my chore and I have to do it. And when my parents told me to do it, I would not want to do it. And I would just be in the bathroom crying instead of cleaning, which is kind of crazy because now as an adult, I feel like cleaning is something that I wouldn't say I enjoy doing, because I don't want people to be like, oh, you can come clean my house for me. No, I enjoy cleaning my area. I love seeing my area clean. So I feel like I am less of a crier when it comes to cleaning my own area. And maybe it has to do because it's mine. It's not just my parents, or I'm not told to do it. Like, I want to see it clean. But that's just a short story of me being able to clean or liking cleaning at least my own area. So after you have your area clean and sanitized, we can go on to step 4. Step 4 is putting remaining things in the area in a way, putting things back in the area in a way that you that makes sense to you. So for me, this is probably the fun part of cleaning and organizing. And to me, it's like putting together a puzzle or playing Tetris. Once everything is clean, including the items themselves, start putting them back in places that make sense to you. So like I was saying earlier, if you're cleaning the kitchen and you have a group of knives, you might want to put them, of course you want to put them all in the same drawer, or if you have like that knife holder, you want to put them all in that. So again, it'd be easier for you to find in a later date. You might even have to buy some containers or drawers to make or even take them from other parts of your house to keep things more organized. Now, if you do have to go out and get some drawers or get some containers, you don't have to go to the most expensive places or go get the most expensive things. You can go to a garage sale, you can go to a thrift store, you can go to other family members who have drawers or cabinets or containers that they're not using, and you can repurpose them and use them for what you need them for. So don't think you have to spend a lot of money to get organized, because a lot of things you might probably already have in your house, you just not using it or using it in a different way that you really don't need to be using it in. So just look around, be resourceful when it comes to trying to find cabinets or containers or drawers that you want to use to keep your area more organized. You might even want to put some things from that area you're working on to other areas of your house, which is fine. So maybe you have some I don't know, notebooks in your kitchen for some reason, but you're not using it for any kitchen reason. So maybe you want to put those in a different area of your house. But my suggestion would be that you only do that in other areas of your house that are already organized. Otherwise, you're just creating more mess for that other area. So in that case, if that other area is not cleaned or is not organized the way you want it to be, just find a temporary place within the area that you're working on to hold that item. So in the future, you can put it in the other area once that area is as organized as you want it to be. And with that, we go on to our fifth and final step, which is to consistently stay on top of the area. So consistently can be different depending on a lot of different factors. So are there other people who use that area? How often is that area used? What type of activities are happening within that area? Those are different questions you can ask yourself when it comes to how consistently I need to be on top of this area. So you may need to check on it every day or every other day or once a week or even once a month, depending on how often you use it. So with staying with the kitchen scenario, if you cook a lot or cook every day, that means that will probably be a section of the area that you're trying to stay consistently on top of every day. So you're not keeping dishes in the sink overnight, or you're not having the stove dirty after you get done cooking. You're cleaning it as you go, and your what do you call it, refrigerator, you're keeping that clean, and you're throwing away old food as you don't need it, and that kind of thing. So being consistently on top of it. If you're consistently staying on top of that area, or if you live with other people and you have other people on top of it, you will have to go through this process less often, or it will take less time for you to go through this process. It will also be easier to reorganize or rearrange that area if you choose to at a later date. So for a bedroom, some people like to change up how their bedroom look, but if it's disorganized or everything is everywhere, it's kind of hard to do that. So if you're on top of that, it makes rearranging or reorganizing that space a lot easier. And then lastly, you can go to the next area and on your list and start the process all over again until every area on your list is done. Now, that doesn't mean you need to get through your list or even get done with that area over a day or a weekend. You can spread it out as much as possible so it fits within your lifestyle and you don't have to feel stressed about it. So maybe you clean one area of your house once a week for the next month or two, and about time, and when it becomes that 2 months are over, you will see and feel a lot different and be able to, I guess, navigate your house and navigate the area that you live in a lot better. But those are my 5 steps I think can help anyone get their life, get their house, get their office in a more organized way so they can be more efficient with their time and with their space. So I really hope this was helpful in helping you get and stay organized. But this season I have a new segment called Challenge of the Week. So before I let you go, I would love for you to participate in this challenge of the week. So as you probably can tell by the name, Challenge of the Week is a challenge I will give after each of my individual episodes for you to do something regarding that episode. So this week's Challenge of the Week is for you to pick one area of your life you would like to be more organized and then go through these steps to get you there. It can be something big as your bedroom or your kitchen, or it can be something like very small, like a desk or a coat closet. And then as you see one part of your life get more organized and more efficient, you start wanting to see that for all aspects or all areas of your life. You can even make it a family thing. Put on your favorite music or your favorite podcast. I always like to promote podcasts and have fun with it. It doesn't have to be a chore, or feel like a chore at least, or like I felt as a kid, a chore that made me want to cry. It can be something fun. Nowadays you can be listening. Well, I guess back then you could listen to music and stuff too. I just didn't. I don't know. But anyway, like now you can listen to your favorite music, your favorite podcast, watch your favorite TV show as you are cleaning and organizing. So it doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can definitely feel fun and refreshing. So those are my 5 steps I think will help you get and stay more organized. But before we go, I do want to say thank you for listening to another episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast. I hope you were able to gain something from it to help you along your journey. If you liked what you heard today, please like, share, comment, and subscribe so I can know you're listening and enjoying the content. If you have any questions, any comments, or even topic ideas, don't hesitate to email me at lazenbyexperience@gmail.com. I do want to put in a reminder that seasons 1 and 2 also still available on all platforms you're listening to podcasts. That's including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Anywhere else you listen to podcasts at the Lazenby Experience podcast. And then lastly, for the readers, I have a blog that covers every individual episode. So the episodes where I don't have a guest will also have a blog post for you to read about the same topic. And you can find that at lazenbyexperience.wordpress.com. And then within my blog, I also have articles from season 2, as well as articles from before I even started a podcast. So you have a lot you can read up on to also, that you can also enjoy. Again, I do want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode, the first episode of season 3 of the Lazenby Experience podcast. And as always, until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast. I really hope you were able to receive valuable information that will help you take actionable steps to get you closer to achieving your goals. If this is true for you, I would really appreciate it if you share this episode with others, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to continue receiving updates on new episodes. I truly am excited about how my experience, the Lazenby Experience, can make a difference in your life. Again, thank you for listening to the Lazenby Experience podcast, and until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success.